At the roof of the world, the environment offers active resistance to life. Above the tree line in the Himalayas, jagged stone and ice stretch endlessly in every direction. For centuries, the people living in the shadow of these peaks have incorporated a rare apex predator into their spiritual lives. In local Buddhist folklore, this animal is frequently depicted as a mountain deity or even the reincarnation of a meditating lama. To those who share its habitat, it is known as the ghost of the mountains. The name comes from its habit of vanishing entirely into the rocky slopes, remaining unseen even by the herders who walk right past it. But living in this terrain requires strict biological compliance. At 16,000 feet, the temperature routinely drops below zero, and the atmosphere holds roughly half the oxygen available at sea level. To understand how a large predator operates in this oxygen-depleted environment, we must examine the specific mechanical solutions built into its anatomy over millions of years. A snow leopard's coat is a precise optical match for its environment. The thick, smoky gray fur is broken up by dark, irregular black rosettes, disrupting the cat's outline against the shattered rock. The physical contact with the mountain is just as calculated. Their massive claws distribute weight like natural snowshoes, while dense fur on the underside of the pads acts as sound-dampening silencers across loose gravel. They are solitary stalkers. They navigate along elevated ridgelines, utilizing the uneven terrain to stay out of sight while they search for a target below. Herbivores like the blue sheep evolved to scan the horizontal plane for danger. By positioning themselves high above, snow leopards exploit these upward blind spots, creeping to within 30 feet of an animal that never looks up. In a landscape with almost no cover, this absolute invisibility is the only way a large predator can get close enough to strike. The snow leopard skeleton operates like a biological spring. Short forelimbs absorb impact, paired with elongated hind limbs, featuring a high tibia to femur ratio. That geometry translates into explosive leverage. A snow leopard can launch itself 50 feet across a chasm, or 30 feet vertically. Hunting in this environment is a violent descent. The momentum of predator and prey tumbles down unstable slopes of loose rock and ice. Surviving this controlled fall requires mid-air correction. The snow leopard uses a meter-long, heavily muscled tail as an aerodynamic rudder to keep itself oriented while grappling in freefall. Their legendary leaping ability is a calculated collision with gravity. Every hunt carries the immediate risk of a fatal drop. Sustaining this level of kinetic violence requires massive amounts of oxygen. Yet, the snow leopard hunts in an atmosphere where the air pressure is cut in half. High-altitude animals typically adapt to thin air by altering their blood. They evolve specialized hemoglobin that binds oxygen more efficiently. The snow leopard does not. Genetically, their blood has a relatively low affinity for oxygen. In fact, on a molecular level, the hemoglobin of a wild snow leopard is virtually identical to that of a standard domestic house cat. They rely on brute mechanical force to survive. They possess enlarged, domed nasal cavities to trap and warm freezing air, pulling it into an expanded chest cavity through rapid, heavy breathing. The snow leopard overcomes the oxygen deficit through brute force mechanical effort, utilizing rapid, high-volume respiration to compensate for its standard feline blood chemistry. This solitary existence pauses for one specific period. For roughly 18 to 22 months, a female snow leopard must raise a litter of cubs. The birth occurs in a freezing, high-altitude rock crevice. A litter typically consists of 2 to 3 cubs, weighing roughly a pound each, and born completely blind. Male snow leopards play no role in rearing the offspring. The female must single-handedly secure enough prey to produce milk, all while teaching her growing cubs how to navigate vertical drops without falling. The continuation of the species rests entirely on a mother's capacity to absorb immense physical risk while passing down the precise mechanics of mountain survival. The anatomy that allows the snow leopard to dominate the high alpine zone also binds it to it. They are hyper-specialized for cold and isolation, leaving them highly inflexible to environmental shifts. Rising global temperatures are rapidly shifting the Himalayan tree line higher. As the snow melts and the vegetation climbs, The cold alpine habitat the snow leopard relies on is shrinking. This loss of territory forces the cats into closer proximity with human settlements. As wild prey becomes scarce, snow leopards increasingly target high-altitude herds of domestic livestock. The resulting economic loss for local herders often leads to retaliatory killings and poaching for the illegal fur trade. Today, the total wild population has dropped to fewer than 6,000 individuals. Conservation strategies now focus on economics. Programs partner with local communities, employing former hunters as wildlife spotters, and turning live snow leopards into a steady source of ecotourism income. The snow leopard is a highly specialized biological system designed for the cold isolation of the high peaks. By aligning the economic survival of local communities with the preservation of these habitats, we ensure that Ghost of the Mountains remains a living predator rather than a legend.